Nice break in that previous match, just 21. I think the only thing he enjoyed about it was when it finished. Anyway, he's got another match to play here. Let's see if he can produce a sort of snooker we absolutely know he's capable of. He's going to have to stay in touch in this group. It's already going to be very difficult for him to win it, having lost 3-0, but let's see. This is a new match. Jimmy Robertson, of course, fought back very impressively from 2-0 down to get the draw with Judd Trump earlier on. But Ford, you can already see he's kind of still a little bit still in that last match. He's got to try and focus on this one now.
Jimmy, have a good match. Okay. The first frame. Jimmy Robertson to break.
Rob Spencer, our referee. Jimmy Robertson to get us underway, and he did really well, I thought, earlier on after Judd Trump turned it on with that 1-2-8 in frame 2. Robertson held firm, a couple of errors, but he got the point, and that makes this group very interesting now. And this match in particular, if he can win it, of course, for now he'll go top.
One. Yellow ball. Foul. And a miss. Tom Ford 1. Jimmy Robertson 4.
Well, he's saying he's caught the joint between the slates, so things are not getting better for him.
From there, Jimmy. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a strange one. Normally we'll do that on the baulk line, but if you play it slowly, he's actually played that quite hard because he's trying to just clip off the yellow and end up on the baulk cushion. So it must have just gone straight offline immediately, and that won't improve Tom's mood. I know that.
Yeah, he's doing that smile snooker players do when they're in absolute bits. It's actually feeling the opposite to how they look.
Yep, that's the most lying smile ever a snooker player does, that one. It's the complete opposite of how he's feeling. It's always a bit deflating when you lose your first game, and it really, I mean, it's so early on in the tournament, the group is kind of out of your hands, but all you can do is just dig in and refocus and try and win the last two. And like I say, even if you don't win the group, there's still money to be played for in every spot in the group, and you know, it all counts.
Yeah, Tom Ford 22nd in the world rankings, so you know he's in that group of players just outside the top 16, and every pound you can earn is going to help potentially to get closer to it. In terms of previous meetings, Jimmy Robertson just edging it 3-2 against Ford.
That's a good shot from Jimmy there. Cacho's very, very thin. Half a chance here for Jimmy. Try and drop this in for the black. I thought he'd just drop it in for the black, but I think he's tried to go around the back of the black and back up for the blues. So it made the pot much harder playing it with that amount of pace. But he's been very fortunate by the looks of it. Especially when he double kisses the cue ball with the red that he went for, and it goes careering into the other pack of heads.
In a funny sort of way, though, all this could make Ford dangerous later on. If he goes into the last match with Trump, not able to certainly win the group or even maybe get second, he might just relax. We saw that with yourself last night, Mark, and indeed Matthew Stevens in that last match, both producing brilliant snooker.
Yeah, exactly. It could happen. I mean, even if it's a match that means nothing in the last game, everyone knows what Tom can do. And that's how it happened myself. I could barely string 2 balls together the previous game, and then went straight back on about 3 minutes later and didn't miss one against Noppon. I bet he's still wondering what's going on there. But yeah, it can happen, and even if Tom's got nothing to play for in that last game with Judd, which is a long way off yet, he still realised that he's still very dangerous. That's a long way away yet. And Tom's still got a chance of topping the group, but he obviously needs to win this match for that to happen.
Well, here's a chance for Tom Ford. Very heavy scorer. At his best, he's made 5 maximums in competition.
One.
Yeah, that's his strength for scoring, Dave, for sure.
6.
He's one of the best scorers on the tour, and immediately, even there, immediately play for the red on the black spot, which is just covering the black a little bit, trying to get that out of the way and clear the black spot. He's obviously come off it a little, just not quite as he wanted. He's got a bit of a funny angle where he can't obviously get on the black. I think he'd like to get on the black and possibly move the red to the right of it.
7.
Looks like it goes back on the spot, actually. Yeah, Tom was hoping to come higher up, right further up, so he could pop this red and just flick the red away from the black, but he's just come a bit low there, so he couldn't play that shot.
50.
So the black is tied up now, so it makes this break a lot harder when the black's tied up. And once he pots the pink, that began on the yellow spot, I think, by the looks of it. So I need a bit of work here to make a decent break.
Well, as Tom Ford sets about these, Peter Lyons has levelled up with Mark Allen on table 2 in the other group. Of course, Allen has beaten Fergal O'Brien 3-0. Lyons lost to Ricky Walden. Allen v Walden is the 5th match. That could be the decisive
21.
one, we'll see. But Peter Lyons, for now, has made it 1 each.
22. Can you declare, please, son? Brown ball, thank you.
If he can just make a nice break here, that might just settle him, and then you wouldn't be surprised if he played really well, but needs to sort of get past that mood he's in at the moment.
$26.
That's not going to improve his mood, is it?
Tom Ford 26.
Yeah, he didn't cue that very well at all, as you could see from his body language after the shot. He sort of hit at the cue ball there. He didn't cue it in, he sort of hit at the white. I don't think it was so much your elbow going, Tom. I think it was just the strike more than anything there.
One.
I was just trying to flick that red away from the black there. It was fancy him to get that. I would have opened everything up there.
Yeah, and this is now a big match,
Green
isn't
ball.
it, for Jimmy Robertson, because having got the draw with Trump, If he can certainly win this match, then he's got a great
Jimmy
chance in the
Robertson
group
won.
because he's got another match to play against Stuart Carrington.
I think it's definitely going off a bit this table. I mean, Jimmy's hit the wrong side of that green. He's trying to put the left-hand side of the green and get the white behind the yellow. Actually hit the wrong side. I see him having a little chat there, so I think it's the table. The cue was going off a little bit on certain shots.
One.
Does the blue go past the red? That's what he's looking at. This red coming back to bulk.
Blue ball.
Well, he's nominated blue, so it appears it does. In fact, from the overhead, you can see it clearly does.
Yeah, that was some pot on that red, that first red.
6.
Hampered over, hampered queuing like that. Fantastic pot.
Seven.
That'll do. Nice little kiss there. Perfect on the pink. Again, I think now going to go with it on the black spot, which will tie it up. Looks like he's just overhit that a little bit too far on the red he played for. I know there's another red available, so could just be a safety shot here.
Jimmy Robertson. 13.
This is the last match of the session. Judd Trump will be back on at 5 o'clock when we'll be unveiling our question for our competition, for which you can win tickets to the Champion of Champions final in November. So listen out for that. We'll be repeating it over the next day and reveal the winner tomorrow evening. Of course, the winner of this tournament will get into the Champion of Champions if not already qualified.
One. One.
So a classic shot to nothing. It was well executed. He got the cue ball back to bulk, but landed on the yellow, so chance to get going. Just sort of watching Tom, it's almost like he's waiting for something to go wrong. He thought he wasn't going to be on one then, but he is.
4.
I mean, he won, obviously, in the first stage he won his group, but he was sort of at a loss to explain how. He wasn't exactly jumping for joy, very down on himself, but got to try and be positive here. This is a chance to win a frame finally.
Yeah, he does get down on himself when he doesn't play well, and I don't. you know, it's understandable, I suppose. But I don't really understand it. Majority of the time, he
7.
plays to a high level. That's why he's so high up in the rankings where he is. So if you have a few, you know, matches where you don't play your best, you shouldn't really get too down about it. Everyone does it. You can't play well all the time. But you know, Tom really does. Sometimes it affects his game.
$12. 13.
He played a good shot on the original blue, trying to open the red. He didn't really bring them out that well, to be honest. That's a pretty
8.
good position to play there, though.
$90.
Looks a bit straight on the yellow, which is the obvious colour to go for. Unless he plays for a double on the red on the side cushion, it's hard to see how he'd pot a red after this colour.
$20.
Well, he's got himself 30 points in front, 43
21.
on the table. So he'd be looking to pot, I guess, red and blue. Robertson would need a snooker.
Cheers, Jimmy. Thank you.
Well, you can see he has covered that red.
What?
He was able to pot it cushion first. Yeah, check of the scores as I say, the blue, and he'd be 36 up, 35 on.
Tom Ford 1.
Yeah, quite rightly, he didn't try anything flashy, but just missed the pot. So, still life in this frame. 31 the difference, 35 available. Well, chance now. Going to need at least a brown off the red. Is it there? Oh, not quite. Tom Ford misses this, then we won't see him again all day. I mean, this will be the ultimate indignity, but he won't miss it.
Thanks, Tom. 1.
Even I fancy putting that one, Dave.
So, not the cleanest frame, but it's his first he's won today. If he can win the match 3-0, you never know, do you? Things can happen in these groups. We've already seen a draw for Trump and Robertson. Of course, Carrington with the win, but got to try and focus on trying to bring out his best game, because when he plays that, he's a match for anybody. When he starts with the heavy scoring, certainly.
9.
Yeah, you'd imagine the majority of these frames in this group with these players would be open frames. You know, getting the balls open and being in a good position. So I think it'd be a high scoring group, and that's perfect for Tom. Wouldn't imagine there'd be too many scrappy frames. I mean, you never know. Every frame's different. You don't really know how it's going to go.
18.
So, Leicester's own
18.
Tom Ford
And
wins his first frame of the day. It's a rather disjointed affair, but he won't mind. He's got that frame. Welcome back to Leicester. This is match 3
frame. Tom Ford
in Group A of the second stage of the Championship League. The winner goes through to the final day tomorrow in a group that already includes Kyren Wilson, and it'll include, of course, also the winner of the group on the other table. Bay Langning also in there. He won through last night. And the 2 group winners tomorrow will play each other in the grand final. Tom Ford leads Jimmy Robertson 1-0 here.
One. Round ball. Five. 6. 11.
Yeah, just didn't quite catch the meat of the pack there that he was planning on. Didn't finish too bad though in the end. A bit fortunate there,
12.
really, Tom, to be on that bed.
$80. 90.
Well, this is a sort of position where he's usually very dangerous, Tom Ford. Oh, why did I say that?
Tom Ford 90.
It's true, he is normally.
Tom Ford 90. 1.
Quite a way short there, Jimmy.
8.
Want to be much further up the table for this red, to stay on the black. It's a little bit of a cutback now to go up for the blue or ball colour.
9.
You played it well though. Nice angle on the blue. It is loose reds, but I mean he may decide to go into the pink and open the best up. All depends how he feels really. Yeah, controlled pace is a good shot. Didn't need to hit that too hard.
14. Cheers, Jimmy. Thank you. 15. 22.
To win the group, he's surely got to win the match because he's had a draw already. So he's got to win the remaining frames to stand a chance. That was always heading to the duel, wasn't it?
Jimmy
Never
Robertson.
looked in that.
22.
Well, they'd be annoyed because, you know, it's a good chance. Maybe just trying to pinch a little bit of the pocket, but too much.
Yeah, I think it was though. I think it just come a little bit short there, and I think he was just trying to pinch a little bit of the pocket to stay on the black.
Well,
always risky doing that kind of thing. You know, he could have gone up for, didn't have a great angle, but he could have gone up for the blue or the pink. Yeah, it was a really good chance there. We were very disappointed.
6. 7.
Well, he's played into the cluster of 3 and missed them. You can see the frustration. And this red is now tough.
Tom Ford 14.
Yeah, Tom would never play a positional shot that badly. He's normally, his cue ball's normally so good.
Tom Ford 14.
To miss the pack altogether. Very surprising.
One.
It's been a mixed bag, hasn't it? I mean, this is a terrific pot to get straight back in. Yeah, and then he's sort of going through agonies, isn't he, Tom? But this is a match he can definitely still win.
3.
Yeah, it wasn't quite as bad as Tom made it look there, to be honest. He had to be, he was a little bit short pace, but he had to be a little bit careful with the pink being there. If he hit it too hard, he could have easily have gone behind the pink and not been on that red. There's still a decent pot with the vest and give himself a good chance now to win this frame.
$11. $12.
I'm assuming that. I'm pretty sure that top red does go. The two reds seem to be in a line, so it should definitely go.
$90. $20.
Well, despite all his tribulations, he needs a couple of balls here to make it 2-0. Just checking the scores. This puts him 38 in front, so one more red will do it.
$27. $28.
If you can win, particularly 3-0, then you won't necessarily be out of it going into the last match with Trump. If he gets through to tomorrow somehow, I think he'll be even more
35.
amazed than the first time he qualified, when he was a bit confused about how he got through. But that
36.
red certainly secures this frame, so he's guaranteed a point. And of course Jimmy Robertson, who drew his first match, the best he can now do is a point, so you feel for him that's not going to be enough.
40.
Robertson's just been guilty of a few errors in
42.
this match. Played better in the first match.
$45. $49. $54.
Well, he didn't make a 30 break in the first match, but put together
60. On the
60
frame.
here. Tom Ford, having lost 3-0 in his first match, is a frame away from getting the 3 points from this one. He leads Jimmy Robertson 2-0. So in a very tight group, Tom Ford leads Jimmy Robertson 2-0. He's looking for one more
Jimmy
frame
Robertson to break.
get himself to 3 points. That's where Stuart Carrington is at the moment. Of course, Judd Trump and Jimmy Robertson have one each as it stands. Trump will kick off the evening session at 5 against Carrington. Mark Allen has gone 2-1 up against Peter Lyons on the other table. Of course, Allen's already got a win under his belt there.
One.
Well, another brilliantly cued shot this. Look where the cue ball is there, so close to the baulk cushion.
One.
He's put some great long balls, Tom, in this match so far. He played it so positive, deliberately playing to finish above the baulk line, so he was guaranteed to be on a colour. That seems to be the way a lot of the guys play these days. They're not really shot to nothings anymore. They always try and leave it short, so they're guaranteed to be on a colour. So he's come a little bit straight on the black there. He wanted to give himself an angle to go and play, get on the red above the black. It seems to come a little bit straight, so he'll play the more difficult pink.
11. 12.
I think you play for the red above the black, just above the black. Swing the round off, probably 3 cushions. Looks pretty good.
$16. 17.
So just flicking that red there has opened up the one just to the right of the pack. You could even go into the pack here. Perfect angle on the black. Yeah, I think it was the right shot. He just flicked the red on the right before he got into the pack. And that wouldn't have happened if he'd have gone directly into the pack.
Top 4, 24. One.
Jimmy Robertson was 2-0 down, of course, in his first match against Trump. Battled back to get the draw. You never know. These groups can be very tight. Draws, I think, always make it more complicated.
5.
So he's just got to focus on trying to get another point and then win his last match. And we'll see where that leaves it all.
6.
Just finished short, though, for the black, so he's going to tickle up.
Jimmy Robertson, 6. It's okay.
Yeah, there's another good chance here for Jimmy. Didn't quite get into the brown as he would have liked, but I mean he's still okay on the red. Just all the time you have to come around the side back of the black, it can always go wrong.
Yeah, it's not quite happening for Robertson in this match.
One. Some forward 1.
Yeah, he said, you know, Jimmy could easily be 2-0 up in this match. He said, you know, good chances in every frame. Just lost position a couple of times and a couple of misses which he wouldn't normally do. Tom doesn't really want to just tap into the pack again, but the problem is if he clips off the pack and leaves the cue ball, you know, on the black cushion, he's giving Jimmy the advantage of playing a better safety shot. So even though it's a bit of a negative shot, it's probably the right one. Unless he leaves us touching ball. Looks like Jimmy's still got a path to get back to balk. If he's going this way, he'll be looking to get close to the brown, I would say. Just got to be careful here, Jimmy, if he's a double kiss. Oh, just avoided it. That's a pretty good shot.
One.
Well, hand held up twice there, one for the fluke and second for position. So Tom Ford has his chance to complete the whitewash, and as I say, you know, with draws in the group, you never know. He could yet come through. He lost his first match 3-0, but he's got one more to play. Of course, it is against Judd Trump.
Four.
Pink spot held, so it goes on the brown spot.
Sam. $11.
Either way, it won't be a long drive home this evening. He lives nearby, of course, but he'd like to go away. Firstly, having played well, and obviously finishing as high as he can in this table. If he wins 2 matches, he'll have 6 points. That might be enough.
18. 19.
Yeah, tough way for
26.
Jimmy to take with Tom Fluke in the red to get in for this break. It's all part of the game, you just got to accept it. Sometimes you get them. On this occasion, it's gone against him. He won't really be blaming that. He knows he's had good chances in, you know, every frame in this match.
34.
I think certainly when Tom Ford was,
35.
you know, let's be honest, feeling fractious about things, if he could have won that first frame, Jimmy Robertson, maybe this would have been a different story. But the story is Tom Ford, he's taking maximum points at 3-0 as well. He's the perfect score in this format where frames are also going to count. So he goes into the last match with Judd Trump, still
43.
potentially able to win the group depending on results prior to that. After 3 matches, we've got Stuart Carrington and Tom Ford on 3 points. Judd Trump and Jimmy Robertson each on 1.
51.
Of course, Ford and Robertson have played a match extra.
58. 60. $63.
So they made a 60 in the last frame, 63 here.
Tom Ford 63.
Jimmy Robertson did struggle in
Brown,
that match,
done
but
the
Tom
match.
Ford has bounced back well, having lost, of course, 3-0 to Stuart
Cheers, Tom,
Carrington.
thank you. Cheers, Jimmy.
He
Thanks.
administers a whitewash of his own against Jimmy Robertson, and with 3 points and a match to play, you never know. He could yet come through. This is a very tight group, and it's been made even tighter by the latest result, which is Tom Ford beating Jimmy Robertson 3-0.